welcome back to Music Talk. I'm Dave,
I'm Mike.
and this week we got the pleasure to do the latest Train CD, and it looks like this. It's called AM Gold. Kind of looks like the old AM Gold records back in the 70s. CD actually looks like the old labels. Look at that. Looks like the old record label in the middle. Yeah. And inside you got a picture of the current Train band, which is not anything like the Train band on the first CD. So anyway, you got some of the lyrics on here are very easy to read. He has them white on dark and dark on white, which I like. Here's the band again. And this right here is a list of additional musicians. All right. Quite a few, right? For a simple band named Train.
Who's the girl?
There's two girls that are backup singers on here. And there's the rest of the thing. And then on the back, you get some of your credits. And the back of the CD looks like that. It's got the track listings and everything. I'll give you a rundown of everybody. That's what they're called, Train now. And if I can pronounce all their names, we got Pat Monahan, which is the singer, which it should just be called the Pat Monahan Band at this point.
Yeah, it should be a solo act.
Yeah. Then you got Jerry Becker on keys and guitars. Then you got Hector Maldonado on bass, Matt Musty on drums, Taylor Locke on guitars. Sakai is one of the girls that sings backup, and Nikita Houston is the other girl singing backup.
Okay.
Now I want to go back to the drummer's name, Matt Musty. I mean, that's what he's got down here, man. And I mean, how many gigs you ever played when you finished playing drums on a hot day and you're like, woo?
Anyway. I remember those days at Atlanta, so I'd have to change every set. I'm serious. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so this album, it was produced by Butch Walker, and he's been around, man. I mean, he's produced Pink, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, Seven Dust, All American Rejects. He's been all over the board.
I'm just amazed he put his name on this, man.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff, I believe why it's that way is because of this guy.
Yeah, probably.
Honestly, you know, so all the songs were written by Pat, Jerry Becker, and Matt Musty. All right. There's a few songs where there's some other people sprinkled in here and all that stuff, but you don't really have, I mean, I don't hear the traditional Train sound on this record. You know, to me,
I don't think they went for it. He was going for the AM top 40.
Yeah.
Probably out of the late 60s, you know, and you had 1910 Fruit Gum Company and shit like that, because I'm telling you right now, that's about where I put this music.
Yeah. Well, they said,
I'm sorry, but
yeah, it's kind of weird because I mean, he did go with that. He's like, he thought it was a compilation and of, you know, good classic golding sounding records is why they came up with the AM Gold. But he also said it was his wife's name's Amber Monahan, so the AM Gold, he kind of threw that in there too, like a little play on words or so. But yeah,
so coincidental. Yeah.
You know, believe it or not, this is their 11th studio album. Now they've had 9 original ones. Then they did a album called Christmas in Tahoe, which I think was original stuff. And they also redid Led Zeppelin 2. They completely redid Led Zeppelin 2. I haven't even thought about listening to that yet, but apparently Zeppelin signed off on it and let them do it.
They probably just signed off on the rights.
And he was saying that he wanted to do it because of the new guitar players and the new band members that he had. He wanted everybody to see how good they are. So they figured, why not do a Led Zeppelin thing? I don't know. I haven't heard it, so I'm not going to say much about it. I'm going to strictly stay on this one, even though my 2 favorite Train albums are the first 2. And since then, they've gone to super pop heaven. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we'll start it out with number 1, AM Gold. He said he wanted to do some kind of Bee Gees type sounding song, which I don't really know that sounds so much like the Bee Gees, but it does have a 70s disco vibe to it.
Where's the Bee Gees at?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Maybe if that had come across, I might have.
Yeah. I mean, maybe some of the orchestration in it, I guess. I don't know, you know, because it's like a big orchestra type thing going on, and it's got a couple catchy hooks. You know, it's one of them songs that gets in your head and you're like, you can't get it out as bad as you want to. It sticks in there sometimes. You know, that he don't love you no more, she don't love you. You know, that stuff like goes around in your head. And you're like, ah. So I didn't like that song at all, honestly. I just didn't dig it at all. I don't know. So number 2, I mean, I know how much you like this record. I want everybody to know that. Mike, he's thoroughly enjoying this review. You can tell right now. Wait till he gets halfway through his beer and y'all are gonna hear it.
You know, if I had a shot of something, it eased the pain, but you know.
So now we get to number 2, which I didn't even realize this was the name of it until I started really doing the review, because I listened to the album about 3 or 4 times. I did listen to it 3 or 4 times. I know you think that's amazing, right? But the number 2 song is called Running Back. And then in, you know, parentheses, it has Trying to Talk to You. Okay. So this one kind of has like an R&B soul thing, kind of remind me a little bit of a Kim or maybe even an Anthony Hamilton feel about it. You know, it had that R&B soul, but it gets to the last bridge there where he starts that sort of, not really a rap, but he starts talking and he starts talking about being a running back. And it's like, this makes the song terrible. If he'd have left that off and, you know, and just called it Trying to Talk to You, and the running back thing, I don't understand at all. But I liked it until it got to that part. And it was like, I don't understand what that's all about.
Well, let me tell you something about this album. They should have done this at a backyard barbecue and watched the reactions of the people. Because I'm telling you right now, there were only a couple of songs that I actually didn't mind.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember the names of them because I did not want to put myself through the horror of going back through this album again. I'm serious. I mean, it's just, I felt like, again, I was watching 1910 Fruit Gum Company or the Archies with some bad lyrics.
Hey, I told y'all he ain't even halfway down the beer yet, and you're already getting it. I'm telling you. See? That's right. So yeah, that one was weird to me. Then number 3 we get is Cleopatra, and this one,
Oh, God.
so this one to me sounded like a Maroon 5 song. You know, I swear it could have been a Maroon 5 song. And this has Sophia Reyes singing on it. And you got this little Spanish flair going on, super poppy, definitely straight out of the pop world that you hear on the radio. And that's why I think of it as like a Maroon 5 thing. Because it's like, man, I totally can hear Adam, what's his name? What's the guy's name from Maroon 5?
I know you're talking.
Adam Levine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, this they could have gave this to him and let him do it. And then Pat Monahan could have just signed off on it and didn't have to sing it, even though he wrote it. So I don't know. Anyways, Cleopatra, that's, I don't know. Didn't like that one much. Then we got to number 4, Betting on Me. And it's weird because it's this bluesy type song. So it kind of reminds me a little bit like an Amy Winehouse and Duffy type music. You know, I could feel that Amy Winehouse, he's doing that blues, the way he's singing it, you know, his cadence and everything about it just reminded me a lot of Amy Winehouse. And this one I actually liked. I thought it was a good song. That's number 4. Number 5, Fake Flowers. This is total Train ballad. I mean, you know, ever since they went to that 3rd album on, this is what you can expect from Train. Mm-hmm. You know, had a nice little guitar solo in the end, you know, with weird, really weird effects. It was really short though, really short solo, but it was pretty interesting. So that was about all I could say about that song. I don't know what you felt about that one.
I'm just trying to hold my tongue.
Okay. Well, I'll go through them all and then we'll talk about it as a whole. So number 6.
That's what it was.
A whole. All right. So check this out. Number 6. Okay. This one here, turn the radio up. It's got Jewel in it, right? total ripoff of an Amy Winehouse song because it's even got the piano vamp. I mean, you totally was like, wow, you just took an Amy Winehouse song and put your own lyrics to it.
Well, you see, a lot of artists are doing that kind of shit today,
Mhm.
and the reason is because nobody's challenging each other anymore on copywriting and stuff. Because what difference does it make? The only
Yeah.
people that are winning that battle are Sony Records and people like that.
Yeah.
It's not the artist. And you know, all I got, no, I'm not. Go ahead. I'm not going to say anymore.
So I'm listening to it and I'm hearing this, and it's reminding me a lot of Amy Winehouse. And then all of a sudden, a woman starts singing, which turns out to be Jewel, which I didn't even think it was. I didn't even know it was Jewel until I read it because she doesn't even sound like her. She's trying to sound like Amy Winehouse. To me, I'm like, I totally didn't understand it. But check this out. Okay, this is what really makes me mad. Okay, this is a Columbia Records album, right? Columbia Records produced album. All right. So you know they got money. Okay. Well, the editing on the words on this is horrible. I'm trying to read along with it. Okay. And some of the words I couldn't figure out what he was saying. So I said, I'm gonna go figure it out. Right. So it says, just please turn the radio up. And this is what the words say. All right. Now tell me, does this make sense to you? This is what the words say in the pamphlet. Please just turn the radio up and turn this breakfast no up down. That's what exactly says on here.
I know.
Breakfast no up down, right?
Well, I remember hearing it.
Now what he's really saying is turn this radio up and turn this breaking up down. But these words don't say that. And it's like, this is the stupidest thing ever. And then it gets to the Jewel part, and I'm trying to read along with her, and half of her words aren't even on here. I'm like, it's got words that she doesn't even say. So I'm like, who's doing the editing? This Columbia Records, you got to do better than this crap, man, because I mean, come on. You got people like Timothy B. Smith doing CD Baby, and all their lyrics are correct. And that's cheapest stuff you can get. This is Columbia Records production, and I can't even get the words right. Come on, man. Very disappointed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my rant for the lyrics.
Well, you know, I'm going to hold on.
Hang on, guys. He's still got a sip or two. All right. There he switched to the other one. He's got the glass this time. He didn't take the can this time.
It's a hazy IPA. Let me tell you something. My vision is not hazy.
So now we get to number 7, and this is called Amber Light. And what I'm getting ready to say about these next 3 songs, I know people are going to be like, you don't know what you're talking about, right? And they're going to tell me that. And I really don't care, because the next 3 songs are totally Keith Urban songs, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Every one of these songs I heard Keith Urban do. All right. So Amber Light is one of the upbeat Keith Urban country upbeat songs. Then number 8, Easy on the Eyes, totally the Keith Urban bluesy country pop song, right? And then Ain't No Easy Way was Keith Urban again. And then what did they do? They threw in some America lyrics for the lonely people. This is for all the lonely people. You know what I'm talking about? So they threw in some of those lyrics, and they're like, what the? So those 3 songs are, you know, did he write them for Keith Urban and just decide to keep them? I don't know. But these are totally 3 Keith Urban songs. That's very disappointing.
Well, Keith Urban's another one that I don't know. I don't want to go there. You know? I'm sorry. You know, I'm just I've got to say it.
Say it. Because I
anytime
too.
Anytime I go out to hear a band, see entertainment. For example, take Bad Company, Paul Rogers, Simon Kirk. You walk in, you sit down, and what you hear is coming off that stage.
Yeah.
You go to a Keith Urban concert, you'll notice he's too busy moving around. He has nothing on the floor in front of him, but his guitar sounds change constantly. And the reason why they're changing constantly, there's a man off stage that is flipping switches for this guy because he's too lazy and too proud and too much stuck on himself to stand there and operate his equipment.
Yeah.
And I have no respect for him
Well, I can tell you his last album or two, I thought they were terrible, Keith Urban's.
Well,
I
he
didn't
got
even-
rid of
I bought the last one and I didn't even want to do a review on it because I knew I'd trash it so bad. So
he got rid of the drummer that was making his whole fucking band. And
yeah,
you know where that drummer wound up? He wound up with Kenny Loggins. And if you want to see a good concert,
yeah, go
watch that Kenny Loggins concert.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you want to hear some real musicians?
Mhm. Well,
There you go.
it's funny though that you say that because the drummer, the guy Matt Musty on here,
Mhm.
played on Graffiti U's Keith Urban album. So I'm wondering if he's done a lot of all the writing on here as well. So I'm sure he's influenced a lot with the Keith Urban stuff that he was doing with Keith. So, now here's bringing that, you got Butch Walker doing the production, who's working with Pink and all these people doing pop crap, which, they're all good musicians, but they're pop songs. So
Mhm.
now he's got Train doing all this. This guy comes in, he's a drummer, played for Keith Urban. I got 3 songs on here that sound just like Keith Urban. And it's like, where's Pat? I don't understand Pat Monahan because he's such a good singer. Anyway, let me go through the last 2 songs, then we'll get into it. I'm so frustrated with this record.
I am too.
So number 10, Singing Along, it's like another Spanish pop song, very blah to me, was nothing there. I didn't really like it at all. And then number 11, It's Everything is what it's called. And it's another typical Train ballad, but to me, it was the best Train sounding song on the whole CD. It sounded like Train more than any of the other record did. So it was the last song. It was a ballad, typical Train, but it was the best Train sounding song. I'm not saying it was a good song. I'm just saying it sounded like typical Train. Okay, and then there's one more because I know you told me, and the reason why this happened is because I know you said there was another song that Jewel did or Pat Monahan did on Jewel's record, so I went and listened to it. And the reason why is because they have the same management company. Did you know that?
I don't doubt it.
Crush Music Management.
I don't
Crush.
doubt it.
So that's where this thing is, right? But then
Yeah,
I went and
well-
listened to the Jewel song, Dancing Slow, and at least it sounded like Jewel, but it wasn't
Yeah.
very good, honestly.
Right.
So
Well, there's nothing, and it's all over the internet and it's all over YouTube. There is nothing being put out today other than classic bands
mhm.
that is even holding anybody's attention.
Yeah.
The average attention span of the Z generation or whatever you hell you want to call them is about 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
Right.
That's it. They're into the TikTok mode. Sit there and you look at 3 or 4 seconds of a video and walk away and go to the next thing. You know what? You're missing out on a whole world of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think your brain is going to operate that quick? No, you need to sit back and cruise and listen to some good music and force these artists and these companies to put out some damn music. I'm sorry, but this shit that they're putting out right now,
Yeah.
Pat Monahan needs to be ashamed of himself.
He should be.
Jewel needs to be ashamed of herself to
Should
even
be.
associate with it.
Should be.
I'm sorry. These people need to stand up to their management and go, no, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
You're right.
serious. It's
You're
like when I could not listen to any of the songs on this Train album all the way through. I kept skipping. I'm like, something's got to be on here that's worth listening to. And it wasn't. I'm
Ladies-
telling you right now, I felt like I stepped in a pile of dog shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I warned you. I warned you.
I'm
He ain't even
sorry.
got to the halfway through the beer yet.
No, I mean, I've been pissed off about this album for 2 weeks.
This is what I've
No.
been wanting you to do, Mike. I mean, you told me one time, you're like, I'm not even going to try to be negative on these records anymore. I'm just going to try. There's no way you can do that, man, because some of these records are so bad.
Well, if you want to really get me wound up,
They're so-
bring some Beyonce on.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Greta.
No, well, actually, I listened to a little bit of Greta Van Fleet the other day. Now, a couple of years later, they're
Just as long as you listen to a little.
they're better than AC/DC.
What? Oh man, we're gonna have to fight about that.
No,
We're gonna
I'm
have to-
serious.
It
No,
depends
because
on what
I
AC/DC
cannot stand Axl Rose.
Well,
at
I was gonna
all.
say, if you're talking
At
about
all.
AC/DC with Axl Rose, yeah, but
I mean,
that
not
ain't
AC,
AC/DC.
not AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
all right.
Excuse me. I correct myself. You got
Hey,
me there.
Don't worry, y'all.
No, I'm sorry. I
got
love
this.
AC. I love AC/DC. Back in Black, probably one of the top 5 albums that has been put out.
Just for the record, I'm with you, metal fans. I'm not gonna let him put AC/DC down like that.
No, not
Ain't
AC/DC.
no way. You
I'm
guys would have
talking
killed
about.
me on the street. I'd have been walking on the street like, how dare you not stick up for AC/DC?
I'm talking about Guns N' Roses.
Now,
And I'm sorry,
hey,
Slash. I'm sorry, Slash. You got some good guitar riffs, but you are associated with GNR, and I cannot help it. But that fucking worm that you work behind is a piece of shit.
this is the greatest podcast we've ever done. I love it. I'm finally getting, y'all are finally getting to see Mike. Oh, this is great. Oh man. And y'all wonder why I wore this shirt today, right? It's the bomb bird, because that's
Well,
what this was, a bomb of a record.
No, I love AC/DC. Remember
Yep.
Midnight Special, Hell's Bells?
Yeah, man.
I
the
came
last-
over and
the last
I came
record
over,
they-
I was going to eat the parrot's head.
the last record that we did, I think you gave it. It was up there, man. I want to say you were close to 10
on AC/DC.
on the AC/DC one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's simple, straight to the point, and they got lyrics and they move and they got the goddamn movement in the music.
Yeah.
And
I
you
mean,
know what?
you can feel it. You can feel
Yeah,
that music.
you feel it. I mean, and it's just like you want a different genre, go to Pink Floyd.
Yep. Yep.
You're gonna feel it too. You know, there are different feelings, there are different emotions in music.
That's right.
But this emotion right here with Train, it's
This
in a
was a-
backed up toilet. I'm telling you right now.
This was a roller coaster of a record, man. It was all over the place. It was like a train wreck.
Well, it was a train wreck. I mean, you know what? It's in a turd fest, is what it was.
Yeah. Well, I will give it this. It had some good sounding. It was sounded good. It had good production. The vocals were great on it. I gotta say, the backups were great. You know,
Yep.
Pat's voice, spectacular. The album was very uninteresting. It was, you had a couple of hooks in there, but nothing to grab you, no excitement.
No,
And I love Pat Monahan, man. Live, the guy sings like nobody's business. He is
Mhm.
like one of the best singers I've ever seen live. But this record, I just did not like it at all, man. I mean, I've got
Look.
3 songs on here that I could go back and listen to again.
I'm
One of
sorry.
them is the running back one, but that's stupid, you know.
I'm sorry.
I know. But the musicianship's good. There's so many musicians on this thing that did it. I didn't even bother to look up the 50 of them that were additional, you know. So I didn't.
I don't want to know who's on there because
Yeah.
I don't want to hold this album against them.
Well, it's the
I
3
mean-
guys. I mean, it was Pat Monahan, Jerry Becker, and Matt Musty did all the writing, and then you got, you know, Butch doing the production. So I mean, between the 4, they're responsible for this mess.
Yeah. But as far as the production, I'm not shopping for a production crew. I want to be entertained.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I want to be entertained. And just because you put a book between a set of nice leather covers doesn't make the reading any better.
That's true. Yep. Well, I'm afraid to ask you this, but I'm going to go ahead and go with a 5.9 on this one because, I mean, I liked 3 songs. I don't like the album cover. I think it was a pretty cheesy album cover. You know, it had, the lyrics were all screwed up in there. I mean, you can't tell me with the money they got for Columbia Records, they couldn't have done a better job editing that. So I'm giving this one a 5.9, and that's very high for what you're going to expect on this record. Only did that because I like Pat Monahan so much. I like his voice so much. I'm giving it a 5.9. I should have probably gave it a 4.9, but I'm just going to give credit to Pat. So,
Well, I'm going to say this. I understand if you're going through a grandpa emotion or something, Pat. I've heard other stuff you've done and I really liked it. This album did not hit me at all.
no.
And I got to tell you right now, I mean, I'm dragging my knuckles trying to bring it up to a 2.
Whew. I like it.
I'm
Two.
dragging my knuckles on this one.
I'm gonna write two real lightly.
I might back off of that and give it a 1.5. You
I
know,
gotta say, man, this is the lowest you've ever given any record.
I
Wow.
I was totally,
I love your passion
totally,
on this one,
I
Mike.
was totally, I was insulted listening to this album.
Wow.
I'm serious.
Wow.
I mean, I will listen to rap.
Wow.
And I not that I like it or anything, but I will listen to it because there is some meaning and stuff in the words and things like that. And even with the sampling and stuff, you weed through that and you listen to the lyrics there and understand the language. You can hear things. And I do not like rap and I don't like hip hop, but I will listen to it and I will be fair. But with this right here, I did not want to take a trip through Disney World and and act like I'm eating cotton candy and sitting down and having my feet stuck to the damn ground. I'm sorry. You know, this album did not move me.
Yeah.
It's below wearing flip-flops. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad record. I gave it a 5.9 only because I thought the vocal work was so good, even though the songs were so bad. They were very bad songs. The bass was good on it. You know, Hector's a great bass player. But I can't really, you know, I don't know, man. 5.9 is high, man. It really is. I should probably go 4.9, honestly. And I mean, I love your passion on this one, dude. I've been trying to get you to do this on these these reviews. This is the real Mike. This is what he does, man. But he don't like it, you're gonna know it. And you found out tonight. And I love
That's
it.
right. Now I don't care. You know, you can chop me down at the knees. It doesn't bother me. I'll keep on walking and driving the damn bus. I'm serious. I don't care. This album insulted my intelligence.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to bother Mike, just get on the bus and put this album.
That's right.
It throw you off
That's
the
right.
bus. You come on.
I'm on down. I drive the 45s, the 68s, the 65s.
He might run you over on this one, man. You come in here. Yeah, it's a shame, man. I was looking forward to it because I really like Pat Monahan, but you know, you don't have Scott Underwood on drums, which was one of the driving drum beats for Train to me in the early albums. That I always loved hearing the Scott play. I liked watching him play. He's got a really unique style, and you can tell it's him. And you go listen to that old Train, you can tell it's Scott Underwood on drum.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, but
it's all polished crap.
let me tell you something. When you grow up listening to albums and bands like the Allman Brothers live at Fillmore East, you grow up listening to Shag music. Just to throw it out there, Bill Dill and the Rondells.
Yeah.
Now, to me, they're hits for bubblegum, but you know what? It made me pat my foot and listen to it.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. And it wasn't because they were from where we grew up.
Yeah.
It was because they put a little care and taste into their music.
Right. Yep.
You know, this right here insulted me.
Yeah. Man. That's crazy. There you go, Pat.
I'm serious.
You wanted the truth. Here it comes, bro.
My God, you grow up listening to Allman Brothers, James Brown, you know, people like that. Come on, you know, get off your ass and do something.
Yeah, I don't really know what this album was supposed to accomplish, honestly. I mean,
AM
I'm not
Gold.
really sure what he wanted to do.
I don't even think it would have got played on the AM stations back in the day.
And you know, listening to a lot of the interviews of him this year, they don't even talk about the record much.
I don't
Very
blame
slightly.
I wouldn't talk about it.
They talk about Drops of Jupiter, which was 25 years ago, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like,
yeah, that's back when Soundgarden was on their game too.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
I mean, that's back in the day in the early 90s, you know.
Right.
I mean, come on, you know, we're not in the early 90s.
I know.
But you know what? I would love to drift back to the late 60s and early 70s.
Yeah.
Because my God, if this is what y'all got to offer,
yeah.
No, I want to take a time machine and go back.
I know.
You know, because this is bullshit.
All right. We're gonna wrap this review up. I love this one. This is gonna be my favorite podcast. I'm gonna post this every day of the week. I'm gonna make sure everybody watches this one, man. Because this one's a great one. Anyway, I gave it a 5.9. Probably shouldn't be that high. I did it. Mike barely gives it a 2. Or he's dragging it across the line just to give it a 2. I don't blame him. It's not a great record at all. You guys can listen to it. Comment on here what you think about it. To me, it was not a good record at all.
No,
It looks
No.
like this if you're interested in getting it. You know,
looks like
check it
American
out.
Bandstand.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. On water with the water background. It's like
Yep,
they just
yep.
took a picture of the water and threw that sign on. I don't know. Anyway,
And that's even an insult to Dick Clark.
yeah. All right. 5-9, almost a 2. And until next time, y'all stay safe.
And please listen to some music.
Not this one particularly, but some.
Some music. Music. That's the key word.
All right.